Okay, we have our marker loaded in the pen holder, and we're ready to go ahead and see how this works with the ScanNCut. Okay, so I'm going to come to the pattern area, and here I have either fonts, or we have 7 different fonts. There's 6 here, page down, and there's the 7th one. Or we can come over here and look at the preloaded sayings that we have. We have quite a few of them here. We've got 13 different pages of them. I won't bore you with all of them, but I'm going to come back here to the font area so you can see what that is like if you've not played with it before. So I'm just going to go, let's try that font. That looks kind of interesting. I'm going to zoom in here so you can kind of see the screen just a little bit more, if I can keep my fingers out of the way. And what I want to show you is that the fonts have quite a few options to them. So the default is the capital letters, and if we click here, we go to the lowercase letters. So that's handy. But if you are from, if you work with foreign language at all and need special characters, we've got those available here. Or of course there is our numerics and special characters for us to use. Okay, so for this example, I'm just going to go back here. Oops, let's go back. Oops, not that far back. And I'm just going to type my name. So capital C, lowercase a, R, O, L, and I'll say OK. Now here we get to choose how tall. Let's zoom in just a little bit further, and you kind of see here the name right here, and you can see that there's no spacing. It's a standard spacing between the letters, and if I increase that, you can see how it just spreads that apart. And I believe in the text world that's called kerning, so it will spread the letters apart evenly. And if I increase here, you can see that it just gets bigger. So we won't go, it doesn't really matter how big they are at this point, but I'll just go ahead and say set. And you can see that it pops up in the upper left hand corner here. So if I come and say decide that I want it to be bigger, I would just choose that screen here. And if you ever have that happen and say, why is it not allowing me to get any larger? The reason is that it is all the way to the top and all the way to the left. So it can't spread out evenly all the way around it. So all you need to do is grab it and just move it down. And now I could make it larger if I wanted to. I'm actually going to make it just a little smaller, and I'll put it up a little bit closer to that upper left hand corner. So I'm happy with that. That looks fine, and I'll say OK. And it's OK. So now we're to this point. I could add another design. I can save it, whatever I want to here, and I'm just going to say OK. Here's where the difference is. You need to tell it you want it to draw. That automatically adjusts the pressure of the blade housing or the pen housing. So it's not going to, because there aren't any settings for the pen housing. So the machine is smart enough to know how much of a pressure it needs for drawing versus cutting. So I'm just going to say to draw, and let's zoom out here and bring it down, and away we go.